Ooh, a high jump kick miss. That is big. What's up? We're back with a Smogon Champions League tournament game between Finchinator and kythr, and this is the Smogon Champions League where the best Little Cup players are playing each other. And let's just get right into the matchup. This match is happening live, and it's the first time I'm able to actually catch the game live, so that's going to be really fun. So we have kythr with kind of like a standard really Diglett Abra team, so it might be like a Life Orb Abra with Diglett to help trap, for example. And meanwhile, Finchinator's team is built around a similar concept, which is Diglett, but with Porygon instead. So it's a bit of a comparison between using Abra as your main offensive Pokemon and using Porygon as your main offensive Pokemon. So, okay, we see the lead. kythr leads Abra and Finchinator leads Mienfoo. And typically when you see a lead Abra, it's one of two things. It's typically Inner Focus. Oh, this is Inner Focus. Okay, it's Inner Focus and it uses Substitute. So this might be a little tricky for Finchinator to actually defend against. This might have Fire Punch, but it might not. So Pharaoh could be a check, it could not be a check. Similarly, Diglett could be beat up, but it could not be beat up, so it's going to be interesting to see how Finchinator actually deals with Substitute Inner Focus Abra. And one thing to note is that it's usually Life Orb if you are going to run Substitute, because Abra can actually run a move called Submission. And because there is no HP fighting in this gen, Abra has to use Submission in order to one-hit KO Poniard. So it's going to be interesting to see what does kythr do right now. Does he Psychic, predicting Mienfoo to stay in? Does he Fire Punch even, predicting Pharaoh Seed? Does he Submission, predicting Pharaoh Seed? It's going to be a little tricky, especially because Pharaoh Seed's Iron Barbs will also affect Abra's ability because it doesn't have Magic Guard, right? So it's going to be an interesting decision from kythr. He uses Focus Punch. Okay, so Finchinator did what's called a mid-ground play, right? So he doesn't... Okay, there is no Life Orb damage. Okay. So what Finchinator did was a mid-ground play where he didn't know whether to commit with Mienfoo or Pharaoh Seed, so he went at Natu instead, and he predicted correctly, survived the Shadow Ball and went to Diglett. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's Shed Shell Abra to escape the trap from Diglett. That was his whole plan right there. I'm not sure I really like that idea. I think most times you would be better off with a Focus Hash or a Life Orb, but certainly an interesting idea. And now Finchinator goes Pharaoh Seed on the Grookey. Grookey U-turns, good play. And yeah, this is really well done from kythr to use his Abra to break down Natu, for example, and then escape the trap from Diglett. kythr goes to Mienfoo and he's in a good position right now. He can get a knockoff on something. Maybe he can knock off Pharaoh Seed. Maybe he can knock off Coughing right now. He goes to Coughing. Is he going to knock off here? He does knock off, gets a good knockoff right now. Now, Finchinator, he's in a bit of trouble right now. He's lost some momentum. Natu is low. Natu being low is not the end of the world because in reality, it's not going to be doing too much. But so far, kythr is dominating the match right now. He gets a U-turn off, chip damage. It'll be interesting to see what does Finchinator do. Does he Will-O-Wisp? Does he Fire Blast? What does he do? I think Diglett is coming in. Yeah, Diglett comes in. And he Thunderbolts, so kythr is really putting on a show right now. Now, what does Finch do? I think if you're Finchinator, you probably go to Mienfoo. He goes to Natu, okay. Okay. So, now he goes to Mienfoo. So, a slightly clever play to pivot so that Mienfoo doesn't take a Ground-type move. It'll take a Poison-type move, which it can regenerate her off. Although he did risk getting poisoned right there, so I'm not sure the sequence was really the best idea, but it still works out, right? So now, kythr, he might go to Marini, if I had to guess. So Mienfoo basically has a free knockoff or a free U-turn. He can U-turn into Diglett to try and trap Marini, for example, right? So I wonder what kythr will do. He can also go to his own Mienfoo if he really wanted to. So it's slightly unclear what the plan is right now for kythr. He goes to Marini, okay. Finchinator U-turns, that's good. He might go to Natu or Diglett, depending on the sets. We don't know the sets right now. Diglett with Eviolite can trap Marini because it can live a Scald, right? And he doesn't really need Diglett for anything else because he can't trap Abra anyway. At best, he can use it to trap, for example, Poniard, right? So it'll be interesting to see if he is Eviolite Eviolite Diglett, and if it is Eviolite Diglett, will he go to it? And he has other options too. He can go to Natu and use a Roost, for example. That could also be a good play. So it'll be interesting to see what he goes to right now. He goes to Natu, which makes me think he might not be Eviolite Diglett. We don't really know for sure, because it could be Eviolite Diglett and he just judged that it wasn't worth it. So he goes to Natu, he's probably going to Roost right now. Marini is probably going to knock off, because Marini lives a Psychic from Natu. So it's very realistic that he decides to knock off on Natu roosting, with the idea that even if Natu does Psychic, he's going to live anyway. And then, as always, that Diglett dynamic is always going to be in effect right now, because if Marini gets low or gets knocked off, Diglett can potentially trap it right now. And another thing that kythr in particular has to worry about is that he has to worry about Scarf Porygon, because his team's only check to it is, well, not check as such, Grookey kind of checks it with Grassy Glide, but the only thing that can live a hit is Pawniard. So if Pawniard gets whittled down, yeah, see, like I said, he's probably knocking on the roost. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. He's going to knock on the roost right now. And there's another decision. Does he keep roosting on a Sludge Bomb? And that Sludge Bomb does come with a potential poison chance right now, right? So he does Sludge Bomb here. Critical hit, poison, no poison. And again, Finchinator has a decision. Does he Psychic, predicting Marini to stay in? Does he roost? And similarly, does kythr go to Pawniard on a Psychic, right? And right now, it's an interesting decision, right? Because from kythr's point of view, he can Sludge Bomb. Yeah, okay, so he does Sludge Bomb for free. Natu gets killed, and Finchinator is very likely going to trap it. Yeah, there we go. He's going to trap the Marini. And now it'll be interesting to see, how does kythr respond to this Diglett? Does he try and use his own Diglett, or does he go to Grookey? I think it's very likely he'll go to Grookey right now. And kythr also has to start worrying about the Mianfu. The Mianfu could be a problem. He does have Abra to check it, but Abra cannot switch in, obviously, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if Finchinator's Mianfu can do the job right now. I think it's very likely kythr will go to either Grookey or Mianfu. He does go to Grookey, okay? Now, does he glide or does he U-turn, right? Finchinator makes a mid-ground play, and this was a really good play, because Pharaoh Seed and Coughing are both checks, and he didn't know, is kythr going to predict one of them? So he went to Mianfu to mid-ground. Now Mianfu can fake out, it can knock off, it can do a bunch of things right now. So a really good mid-play, a mid-ground from Finchinator, and we saw that earlier mid-ground tactic with Natu as well. So Finchinator really knows what he's doing with these mid-ground plays. So I wonder if there's really nothing stopping Finchinator from using a Fake Out. If he uses Fake Out, he'll collect damage on anything, either Abra or Diglett or Pawniard or Mianfu or Grookey. Anything will be taking this Fake Out damage. So it looks like a free Fake Out. So does Finchinator want to knock off predicting the Mianfu switch, for example? Yeah, see, so kythr predicted Fake Out, he went to his own Mianfu. Kind of a stalemate situation. Finchinator might go to Coughing right now, predicting a Fake Out. They both might exchange knockoffs as well. It's unclear what both players can do right now. But if I had to guess, kythr is definitely going to be clicking knockoff right now, because knockoff is guaranteed. You're going to be hitting something with a knockoff and getting good damage. Yeah, so Finchinator goes to Coughing. Mianfu uses High Jump Kick. I didn't expect that, but it's still a good play. Coughing may or may not have Pain Split. Pain Split is trending upwards nowadays. A lot of people like to use it, but we don't know if Finchinator does like to use it. So I think kythr is probably going to U-turn into Diglett right now, and then Finch will either Sludge Bomb, or he might Will-O-Wisp, or he might even Pain Split right now. So we're probably going to see U-turn to Diglett, Finchinator does whatever move he does, and then Finchinator is going to go Mianfu on the Diglett, and kythr might double switch Abra predicting that Mianfu, but we're getting really far ahead in the future right now. Right now it's going to be about Mianfu clicking U-turn or even High Jump Kick, and what is Coughing going to do? Does it have Pain Split or not? That's going to be the main question right now. And if we look even long term right now, Mianfu versus Mianfu, right? Porygon in the back, Pawniard hasn't taken damage right now. One of Finchinator's priority was to get damage onto Pawniard, but he's been unable to do that so far. And similarly, see, the thing is, he hasn't been able to get damage on Pawniard, right? But all he needs to do is get one trap off. Oh, it's Taunt Mianfu. And Pain Split, wow, really interesting. So kythr doesn't have Fake Out, which is my #1 recommendation. I love Fake Out, but he doesn't have it. Finchinator reveals Pain Split. But now kythr has a free High Jump Kick if he wants to. What kythr can do right now, he can High Jump Kick twice right now, and 2-hit KO the Coughing. And all Coughing can really do is Sludge Bomb, maybe get a Poison, right? So really, really interesting move from Taunt. I'm not a really big Taunt believer. I believe Fake Out is usually much, much, much more consistent. But clearly it did work out here. Taunt is really doing well right now. And I think kythr would High Jump Kick here, right? He'll take his 2-hit KO on the Coughing. He won't preserve the Mianfu. I don't think he needs to preserve the Mianfu either, right? And just to continue my earlier point, what I was saying was that, okay, he does high jump kick here. Sludge Bomb, does he get the poison? No poison. This heals up. He's probably going to high jump kick again. And I believe Mianfu is out of range of Diglett, so this is working out well for kythr. But all it takes is one trap from Diglett, and the Poniard is removed, and then Scarf Porygon can win. So he's not out of the woods yet, because all it takes is just one double switch, one sacrifice, one situation where Finchinator can get Diglett in on Poniard, and then he'll win the game. Because Scarf Porygon can clean up the rest of the game, especially without Fake Out on Mianfu. Ooh, a high jump kick miss. That is big. And Finchinator, I don't necessarily understand why he did that. I think I would have sacrificed Coughing here, because this is a two-hit KO. Mianfu 2-hit KOs Mianfu, obviously accounting for all the potential hacks like high jump kick miss and crit, whatever, right? But he does miss the high jump kick. I don't know. I would have preserved my Coughing, because what are you using Coughing for? Coughing is outsped by everything on the team, right? So I would have sacrificed Coughing there. But he does get lucky with that high jump kick miss, and now it's going to be interesting. Does he Fake Out? I think if you're Finchinator, you definitely Fake Out here. There is no switch into Fake Out right now, because the Marini was trapped by Diglett, right? It's going to be interesting to see what actually happens right now. kythr's time is running low too, and we've seen in big games like this, timer pressure can really get to you right now, so especially when you get tilted by a miss like that, it's going to be really, really crucial that you stay focused even with your timer low. He gets the U-turn speed tie, and he wins the speed tie too. So good play from Finchinator right there. He does win the speed tie right there. So he didn't have to Fake Out, U-turn covered everything. He goes to Pharaoh Seed now, and I believe this is the right play, right? Because what can touch Pharaoh Seed, right? If he goes to Poniard to touch Pharaoh Seed can get that crucial chip damage for Porygon, right? If he goes to Grookey, Grookey can't touch it. Abra, even if it has Fire Punch, well, it won't have Fire Punch because last move Psychic, right? But there's nothing that can really touch Pharaoh. He goes to Grookey, he's probably going to Drain Punch. I think if I am Finch, I would go Mianfu on the Drain Punch. Yeah, he does that. Good play from kythr, predicting the switch. Mianfu comes in, remember it is Inner Focus Abra with Shed Shell. So Fake Out is not good enough right now. Finch will probably go to Pharaoh Seed, if I had to guess, because Focus Punch, Shadow Ball, and it has to be Psychic. There's no way he's Fire Punch, right? So I think Pharaoh is an obvious switch, and the problem is that kythr, he can know... Okay, he knows Pharaoh Seed is coming, he uses Focus Punch, 45, good damage, but the problem is what does he do now, right? There's really not much he can do, because he can't Focus Punch again. Pharaoh Seed typically runs Giga Drain in Little Cup, so Pharaoh Seed can Giga Drain here too, get some chip damage, get Grassy Terrain up too. Revenge, even interesting. That is really interesting. And that makes sense. That really makes sense, because if you think about it, Porygon, that's his whole game plan, winning with Porygon. So Pharaoh Seed with Revenge for Porygon makes perfect sense. In hindsight, it makes a lot of sense, but really good. 32 from damage now, and what is he going to do? Pharaoh Seed's in a good position. He goes Mianfu on the mid ground. Grookey uses Drain Punch. I think he should have U-turned there, U-turned to Abra to keep the pressure up, but now Mianfu's back in a good position right now. And does he Fake Out? Does he U-turn? I think if I'm Finchinator, I do U-turn right now, because there's no terrain, so Glide does not have priority. This is going to be a really easy U-turn for Mianfu right now. kythr predicts it. He goes to Poniard now, and does Finchinator go for the trap right now? He doesn't go for the trap, which makes me believe he can't trap it? Is it Choice Scarf Diglett? That could be Choice Scarf Diglett, and Choice Scarf Diglett typically... Okay. Okay. Revenge? There we go. Poniard is gone. Choice Scarf Diglett has a chance of getting one-hit KO'd by Sucker. It's not a likely chance as far as I know, but there was a chance, so maybe he was scared of that. But in any case, Scarf Porygon is going to look really good right now. kythr is going to lose to Scarf Porygon right now. I think he's out of options right now. Finchinator sacrifices Pharaoh here, then he goes to Porygon, and he uses Tri-Attack 3 times, and I'm not sure what Diglett can do right now. Diglett will die, Grookey will die, Abra will die. It's looking like it's all over right now. We'll see if kythr has anything left up his sleeve. Maybe Grassy Glide can crit the Porygon. That might be his last option right now. Yeah, he does use Psychic, and I expect the immediate Porygon right now. There we go. Attack boost, not special attack boost. That's important to keep in mind right now. Maybe if Diglett has something like Bulldoze, right? You can Bulldoze and get chip damage on Porygon maybe. Porygon is definitely going to try attack right now, and something is going to die. We really have to see what happens right now. kythr is low on time, 5 seconds right now. He goes to Grookey. Tri-attack is going to be one-hit KO. Agility, it isn't Scarf Porygon. I spent this whole game thinking it was Scarf Porygon. It's probably Agility Berry Juice now. Wow, really interesting right now. And that means it outspeeds Diglett too. Even Scarf Diglett, right? And kythr loses on time. kythr loses on time. He runs out of time. And wow, what a finish. I think he was losing anyway, but after that high jump, well, after the high jump kick miss, he started losing, right? But after that high jump kick miss, it all went downhill. He was playing with timer pressure, and finally he runs out of time. So really, really exciting game. I think Finchinator had that in the bag after the high jump kick miss. And yeah, that was a really exciting Little Cup game. If you want to see more of this live content, live reaction content, make sure to like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments below that you do like this type of Little Cup content. And yeah, thank you.